So we've been doing this since 2016. I think 2017 we ran our first event. It was a small little event in Cape Town. And from there we've grown it, and now we run these events throughout Africa. So we've not only in South Africa, but we do it in Zimbabwe, Uganda, Nigeria, and in Zambia.
Yeah.
So throughout the continent we're running these same sort of events, bringing universities out to meet local students.
I think here I would like to bring my own example because I myself was an international student some time ago, and I think the education is the future, and this is how we can actually not only build our own careers but also help our communities and change the world to the better. So I think it's important to understand the importance of education, not only for the students, not only for future students, but also for the families and for the parents who can dare, to let their children go abroad and get this international experience and make the world a better place.
Yes. Welcome to the boardroom. My name is Ntlalontle. We are at the Study Abroad Expo in Sandton. I'm here with Mr. Bran Morris, Managing Director for Sable International Study Abroad. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming to our event.
Thank you so much. Tell us more about this event here today.
Okay, so we're a university advisory service, and we work with around 300 universities from around the world, and for today we've got around 55 universities from about 4 or 5 different countries that have come out. So a small pool of universities that we work with who are looking to recruit international students, mostly from South Africa in this instance. So they're looking to meet students who want to study overseas next year or the year after, and discuss study abroad options. So what kind of course do you want to study, or what does it take to get into these universities? So just general information about studying abroad.
So you are helping connect the students to the universities?
100%. So we act as an in-country representative for these universities. So our whole goal is to put the university in front of the right students and vice versa.
Yeah, you say over 35 universities here today.
Yes, yeah.
How long have you been organizing this event? Because I find it very relevant, especially in the South African context, because as a student, sometimes you need that information to push you to that next level, maybe to the higher education. This is very important work that you are doing.
So we've been doing this since 2016. I think 2017 we ran our first event. It was a small little event in Cape Town, and from there we've grown it, and now we run these events throughout Africa. So we not only in South Africa, but we do it in Zimbabwe, Uganda, Nigeria, and in Zambia. So throughout the continent we're running the same sort of events, bringing universities out to meet local students.
Yes, tell me more about also the West African Nigerian market, because we were just discussing how I was telling you, I was speaking with IIBA just a couple of months back, and they have a pool of students from Nigeria, and you were also telling me about that West African market, and I understand you will also be touring there?
Yes, so our event will be next month. It's a much busier, it's a big country. There's 200 million people in Nigeria, so and they're definitely very education-focused people. Nigerians have got a very, very strong focus around looking at international education as a way to better themselves.
Yeah.
And it's quite exciting to see what's happened in Nigeria over the last few years, seeing students go and study abroad and then come back home.
Yeah, with their skills. Yes.
I mean, the whole fintech business is built on the back of international study. There's all kinds of amazing startups now in Lagos City, all on the back of international students returning. I myself studied abroad and then returned home to South Africa to set up my business.
Yes.
And that's one of the major benefits of studying abroad, is that you get to have that international exposure. You meet people from all over the world, and then when you come back home, you tend to have a different outlook.
Yeah.
And you tend to look at opportunities that aren't quite working the same year that we're only working abroad, and you bring those opportunities back.
The environment is different. Yeah.
The environment's different, so it opens up a lot more doors for you, and it also allows for my instance, the ability to be able to communicate with those international entities and local entities and bring the two together. So in Nigeria, you're seeing that more and more. And it's really exciting to see how it's transformed the country. So for us, fishing in South Africa, we really feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, these people are going to leave the country and then they're going to be gone forever. And I'm like, you don't understand. When you get to England and there's no one cleaning for you, there's no one cooking for you, there's no one looking after you. We like to be looked after.
You can't forget home.
You can't forget home. And it's dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have sun here. So, it's these little things that people don't realize that people miss. And so they go and maybe spend 2 or 3 years or 4 years abroad. Like I said, learn. I spent 6 years learning, understanding, building a network, coming back home and using that to start my business.
Speak more to that, the skills that you learned abroad, how they helped you in the local context and how you were able to start your enterprise and make a success of it. Because in this show, we actually focus on that, building a business, building your enterprise. What are the skills?
So for me, it was the network. Network. It's, that saying, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I spent a lot of time traveling and working with people from different institutions, and I made sure that I got to know everyone. And I made sure they all knew about me. So that's the skill that I really kind of transferred, is that ability to be able to get out there and get to know people. And I think it's so important, because that's the foundation of my business. When I started, I called on all the people I knew, and they were the reason that I was successful. And obviously there's things like, just understanding how the different financial worlds work in different countries really helps. Being able to set up an offshore company and from there stimulate different individual local companies on the back of that, and building an entire group structure around that. All of that was learned by working abroad. So that was really, really important. And then I think one of the things that I really took back was the different HR processes that go on and the way that they treat their staff. It's a little different to the way that happens in the rest of the continent. And for me, it's really all about looking after your people. And if your people are happy and they provide good service, then your business will be successful.
That's funny, because I just saw a quote in a book I was reading about that kind of thing, how the importance of HR and treating the people that work with you, not for you. The people that work with you. Tell me more, what are you currently excited about as Sable, as study abroad? In your context as a managing director, what excites you right now in business?
For me, it's bringing different cultures together. I'm totally stimulated by the idea of having my team in South Africa on a call one day, and they're speaking to someone in Nigeria, Zambia, or the UK, Australia, and I love the fact that they've all got stereotypes and prejudice towards people. Let's be honest, Nigerians, sometimes people can go, oh, Nigerian, that seems like that might be scary. And then it's amazing when they meet someone from my Nigeria office and they go, oh, well, I've got a son that's at school. And, oh, yeah, I've also got a son that's in school. And they realize they've got so much in common. And it's actually, everyone just wants a normal life and wants to be successful and wants to raise their kids, send their kids to good schools and live a happy life. And you realize you're more similar than you realize. We might have different religions. In my company, we've got people from all kinds of different religions, all different cultures, all different color, and they all realize that they've got the same outlook in life. They all just want to enjoy their life. And I love bringing people together like that. And removing those prejudices has been so stimulating and so rewarding for me. So that really excites me.
Yes, lovely. What I also would like to know, you have made a success of this study abroad, because it's really relevant. Looking at the South African context, many are complaining about the environment, the energy issues and so forth and so on. But speaking to the stakeholders, I keep getting the word resilience. I know South Africans are resilient. South Africans will figure it out. What do you think in this energy context and these energy issues that we are dealing with?
Well, I just came from Zimbabwe, where if you think it's bad, they have 2-day load sheddings. So, we are resilient, and the grass is not always greener. to think that it's so much better everywhere else. It's an issue and it's affecting people. And people are really looking at other options. And it's a scary thought because we can only afford to lose so many people. And it's not ideal. To be honest. Like I said, nothing works when everything collapses. So it's something we really need to work on this. But I think that we'll realise that it's not as bad as you think it is. We are resilient and we'll push through. We're already adapting quite quickly to what's going on.
One way or the other.
Yeah, we adapt. But it affects business and affects people. And unfortunately, in my business, we tend to do better when people are struggling more, which is quite sad. But like I said, we like the idea of helping people go study abroad because we hope then they'll come back with real solutions for the problems.
Yes, solutions. Yes. Just to wrap it up, say, I mean, majority of the population, I mean, in South Africa, in Africa, is young people, and there's a big number of youngsters getting into business, whether they've just left varsity. I mean, what's that one advice that has helped you, I mean, in your enterprise to make a success and to push through?
So my advice is as Nike would say, just do it. Stop procrastinating. Entrepreneurs or the wannabe entrepreneur will find every excuse not to do it. And my advice is there's no time like now. If you start finding excuses, it means you're not ready for that, to do that. And maybe you should go get a job and do something. But if you want to do it,
do it.
Because if you don't, you'll never do it. And before you know it, 10 years, 20 years has gone by and you will have regrets. So if you don't just do it, then even if you fail, at least you tried. Failing is okay. It's okay to fail. But true failure is staying in a job for the next 20 years and then regretting that you didn't do it. If you take the chance and you do it, you'll be surprised how often you'll be successful.
Awesome. So tell me also, we are here at the Study Abroad Expo, the importance of education.
100%. I mean, there's so many aspects towards this. I spoke about networking earlier in terms of meeting people, but obviously the training and the education that you get, and the way for a lot of these degrees, it's a change of mindset. So they're not always teaching you stuff; they're teaching you how to think in a different way. So I think that's where the academics really comes in. And again, for me, it's about a maturity thing. So instead of rushing off to work, you have a chance to go and learn and build your brain before you're ready to go out into the working world. I think that's really important for me.
Mr. Morris, Study Abroad Expo Managing Director, Sable International. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
good
sir.
to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Thank you. We are at the Study Abroad Expo in Sandton. My name is Ntlalontle. This is the boardroom. I'm joined by Mandela Sangura. So tell us more about your work and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. As you said, my name is Mandela Sangura. I represent Murdoch University. Murdoch University is based in Western Australia, in Perth. And we are a public university. What I do, I oversee the student recruitment in Africa. That's basically what I do. So it's about student recruitment, assessment, and managing our partners. In this case, our agents.
Yeah. How important is it to study abroad and to take advantage of these opportunities for students?
Yeah, studying abroad comes with quite a number of advantages. One is the advanced level of studying that is offered, for example, in Australia. Just to mention, you find that for most programs at Murdoch University, you study 1 hour in class and then 2 hours of application. So the student is taught on current matters and what is happening in the industry. And immediately they graduate, they're able to fit in the society and, apply what they have learned.
Yeah. Is it still relevant, I mean, to pay those large sums of money for varsities when you can maybe get on YouTube or go on Google and study? How does it balance out? Is it still relevant in this day and age?
It's relevant for sure. It's a worth investment. studying abroad, specifically, let's say Australia, is quite expensive comparing to studying locally here. But then you look at the returns on investment. I will give you an example. A student studying at Murdoch, the student visa for Australia allows them to work part-time and full-time during holidays. And the minimum pay is 20 Australian dollars an hour. Most students that I've interacted with at Murdoch, they get between 25 to 35 Australian dollars an hour. Working 20 hours, they will be raising some good money in the start. Another advantage is the student visa allows you to stay there for 3 years working. So in those 3 years, for sure you can make some good returns looking at what you have invested in. And also, we're going global. So we're looking at the global advantage that you will have studying in some of these international universities. And for sure, you're likely to land opportunities, not even only in Australia, but also in other developed countries across the globe.
What is the current intake of students coming from international destinations to Murdoch University?
So to just mention, Western Australia and specifically Australia, they locked their borders for long during COVID. I think Western Australia was the longest, 2.5 years. The borders were closed and there was nobody going in or coming out. So that was a big setback that we faced as Murdoch University. But immediately as the borders opened, the numbers started picking up. And so far, we've seen a lot of students showing interest, not only studying at Murdoch, but also studying in Australia. This morning, we just had a meeting with the Home Affairs for Australia, and they were saying there is a lot of applications actually coming in this year, and they foreseeing hitting the highest number of applications for Australia since they started doing their visas for students studying in Australia. As a university, this year so far has been our best. We've recorded the highest number. The highest was 2019, but we managed to surpass that. But also we're saying it's due to the market being known. The Australian High Commission is really doing a lot in terms of marketing Australia as a study destination. Also, universities have been investing in terms of having local staffs like me in Africa. Initially, that was not happening. And another thing is we have universities now investing in agent activities like this one in Sable, where you can see a lot of university reps have come to market the universities. So at the end of the day, Australia is being sold. And Australia is also, as a country, there are some advantages that people are now coming to know. And it's helping in terms of getting the students to study in Australia.
I'll admit I didn't know much about Murdoch University. How strong is it among international competitors and local universities? How does it rank?
For Murdoch University, currently what we're doing, we're trying to build our brand in Africa. Initially, as I mentioned earlier, there was no university rep in Africa. But since I came on board, we've been trying to put in some marketing plans and strategies to make sure that we build our brand in Africa. And we've seen the numbers grow very well, and we really looking forward to partner with a lot of agents in the southern part of Africa. Another thing is we also have now the Murdoch College that will now be helping us for students who don't qualify directly to the university, so they have to go through the college, do a diploma or a foundation before they come to the university. And that's also an advantage that we are going to have, because there are some markets in Africa that we don't recruit directly in terms of their curriculum. They don't meet the entry requirement for direct entry students. So then they will have to go to the college. So that's also good news, and we're really looking forward to more numbers in the coming years and the brand, creating more awareness about the brand. Yeah.
Okay, just to close it up, Mandela, the traveling, once again, please address the travel restrictions, because most people are worried about the application, the travel, the lockdowns. Is it back to, is it smooth now to travel? Maybe to Australia, you want to study there. What is the process?
Yeah, so right now, since the borders opened, it has been a smooth start for us. And the process, just walk in an agent office, say the university you want to study, for example, let's say Murdoch University, and then the agent will request you some of the documents that you're required to do the program that you want. They will file the application with us. I will do the assessment, and then we'll give you, if you don't have any condition, we'll give you a full offer. You'll be able to pay. After you pay, we give you the confirmation of enrollment. They will use that one to apply for visa, and then after that, you get your visa. You book the dates that you want to travel, depending on the availability of the course that you applied, and then that's it. Land in Australia. If you're coming to Murdoch, we will send. Usually we have the student guild that usually sends taxis to pick up our students, orient them a little bit about the university. Then they will take you probably to our on-campus accommodation, and that will be it. Advantage you have studying in Western Australia, for example, you get 40% of public transport, something which is key for students, because then they will be paying less for public transport, assuming they staying off campus or maybe they want to visit the city and explore. And also, Australia generally is diverse and well connected. The level of crime, like for example in Perth, is very low. You rarely hear of crime in Australia and in Perth. So it's a safe environment for our African students.
Yeah. Also, politically, I mean, does Australia have maybe certain relations, good relations in place with African countries? You know, is it accessible that way?
Yes. Now, Australia as a country, I'm not sure how I can go about this politically, but then just to say from my interaction with the Australian High Commission and Austrade, they have been really supportive to us university reps. And then they have been organizing events. Like today in the morning we had an event where they just briefed us on the visa application process, some of the key things we should look at when we enrolling students. And to me, those are some of the supportive things that we need. And probably going forward, we looking at Australia coming in strongly to help us build, the brand, the Australian brand. And so far, they've been organizing several events towards that. So to me, being part of the African team, I would say that Australian government or Australia has been really doing some good things to support us in student recruitment.
Okay. To close it up, please speak to the students in Africa. I mean, what can you tell the young people out there to encourage them,
So for me, I will tell the African people from the African market looking forward to study in Australia. It's a worth investment. For us, Murdoch, we offer some of the most affordable courses across Australia. And as of now, we're giving 20% scholarship to all international students. We have quite a range of programs that you can pursue. You get to study there, stay there for 3 years after you're done with your studies. A lot of job opportunities in the industry. So it's a worthy investment, something you can think about it, and then let us know if you're interested in studying in Murdoch. You can always reach out to us via Sable or via directly our website.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
Yes. My name is Ntlalo. Welcome to the boardroom. I'm with Olga from the EU Business School, European Union. Welcome, Olga.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me more about this institution that you are representing here today.
Yes, we are an international business school. Actually, this year we are celebrating our 50-year anniversary, so it's a big day for us. Yeah. We are located in 3 different countries. It's Spain, we are in Barcelona city. Switzerland, we are in Geneva, and Germany, we are in Munich. So we offer business-related education in English in all of those 3 countries. We also have a digital campus.
Is there any maybe uniqueness to your offering, maybe to the African students? What is your offering, and how is it different from all these institutions that are here today?
Well, it's worth mentioning that we have been awarded a top 5 institution for the diversity and innovation in education this past year. So we are very international. We have over 100 nationalities all over the campuses. So I think this makes us very cosmopolitan and very open to all of the world, I think.
Yeah. Is there any special perks maybe you offer to the students that are studying abroad, coming from international nations?
Well, since most of our students are international, I think we have to offer actually this international experience for them anyways, so they can choose the campuses, they can transfer between the campuses, they can study in all of these 3 countries doing the same program. So I think this is like a unique offer that we do for international students too.
Yeah, okay, I promise not to keep you long, but please speak to the importance of education and the EU Business School in terms of the offering, and also like the importance of education to the stakeholders, the young people out there.
I think here I would like to bring my own example because I myself was an international student some time ago, and I think the education is the future, and this is how we can actually not only build our own careers but also help our communities and change the world to the better. So I think it's important to understand the importance of education, not only for the students, not only for future students, but also for the families and for the parents who can dare, to let their children go abroad and get this international experience and make the world a better place.
Yes, thank you so much. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. It's a wrap from us, the boardroom at the Study Abroad Expo in Sandton. My name is Ntlalo. Goodbye.